which even puts the county in a worse place.
I understand.
And this is even not saying anything if we do not start engaging and recognizing this debt. We're gonna be in the same shape as we did in 2014 when y'all went out and borrowed $250,000 to make that payment. We cannot ever do that again, and we're gonna have a hard time overcoming what has been done. But if we don't do something about it, then we're gonna be faced with doing the same thing again. You see what I'm saying? And that's the warning. I mean, that's the fear of it, is that this might happen.
I see what you're saying, and we don't have any more knock quarries to sell. So
That's
we're-
correct. Yeah.
But our tax sure needs passed on it.
Well, that brings me to this, Clark. I'd like to read this statement. I'd like to be uninterrupted. If you got questions, I'd like to hear them afterwards. If not, that's fine too.
That's fair enough.
The committee, and this is signed by 3 of us, the majority, committee formed by the county commissioners of Haskell County. The committee, 3 members, the majority, has decided to make public announcements to settle and answer some questions about the new half-cent sales tax being sought by the present 3 commissioners. The new half-cent sales tax is being sought under state statutes to provide avenues to legally ask for the tax: roads and bridges, hospital, and economic development. The ballot indicates that the tax is for economic development, which we, the committee, disagree with. Making a jail facility bond payment and operations of that facility are not economic development. We are also concerned that if such a tax were passed and approved by the citizens of the county, that it would be challenged legally and tied up in litigation for years. Who would make the payments while the tax is in litigation and our courts? There have been numerous false statements made to the public that if the new half-cent tax fails, then debt would be put on ad valorem taxes and collected at an accelerated rate, tripling the current ad valorem taxes being paid by landowners. The committee to the commissioners has challenged these statements, and not once have they shown proof of this happening, nor in the past history since Oklahoma State Road. The committee has, through qualified bond and tax attorneys, researched those statements, found them to be totally misleading to the citizens of Haskell County. The committee has requested actual operation cost projections from the commissioners for the operation of the jail facility. We have not as yet received any. Therefore, the committee is in agreement that until we see a proper documented tax spending budget managed by dedicated, honest, and capable persons, we are not for the half-cent sales tax. This is signed by Rick Bumpers, Rock Humphreys, and Randy Harrison. And it'll be in tomorrow's newspaper.
That's fair enough with me. The only issue I have with it is you're talking about it being illegal. Now, RDA has stated, and the executive director of ATCO both stated it was legal. That's the advice we got.
I agree that you've had that advice, Paul, but I've also, asked you to seek out bond counsel, which you jumped in front of us. You were about to, and you engaged in a sales tax without seeking the proper counsel to do it in a correct manner. And I don't know that your sales tax is going to pass. I don't know that it's going to fail. We won't know that until after the election. But what I do know is that if it does pass, if somebody challenges that, it could be tied up in court, so we still wouldn't get the tax. And that's my concern is the looking out for the county from the time that if it is passed and somebody challenges it, that we're going to be tied up in court and not going to be receiving that tax. Therefore, we're still going to have to make those payments. And that's something that I just want to bring to everybody's attention, that we need to acknowledge this and make appropriations and pay attention to it right now.
It looks to me like you should have put one more line on there that the committee wants us to go and ask for them, because it's gonna be one where for the fall.
No, the committee didn't say it wants it to go on that board.
It don't want it going, it's
Did you not understand about
Yeah, I
that? It
understand.
won't go on that board?
I understand that we're gonna have to have a tax to make it, And I think any accountant you talk to will tell you that.
To make it as the way you're doing business right now,
Well, unless you won't send half the employees home.
I don't know that it's half. You know, I'm looking at our shortcoming at $62,000 a year right now. So if that's half of your
But
employees,
you
that
gotta
doesn't sound like, to me,
take
Clark,
into
that that's half.
consideration that we've already sent. Most of these offices is already running shorthanded.
Well, and I also know that the jail has never been staffed
I
properly.
know that.
You know, they're working at half staff and your officers are working at 75% staff.
Just another reason, I believe we gotta have some tax money, so where's it gonna come from?
I'm not here to answer that, Clark. I'm just telling you that this is our findings. And if you got the tax passed, what good would it do you if it goes in court?
Well, I mean, I don't know, Randy, but whoever challenges it, I don't know if we could or we couldn't, because I'm not a lawyer and I'm kind of talking out of turn here, but I'd like to see if we couldn't counter sue them and let them pay for our shortcomings. I mean, I don't even know if you can do that, but, you know, if somebody wants to do that, that's their prerogative.
Almost sounds like you know it's gonna be challenged.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's gonna be challenging if it passes,
let me
I
tell you,
believe
let me
that.
tell you this, is that the Ten Commandments got challenged, didn't it?
And we are paying for it.
That's correct.
Through ad valorem taxes placed on the judgment,
Yeah.
the same as would happen if we default on this loan.
Disagree with that.
Well, it's right here in the book, Randy. It's sitting and sit there in the sinking fund that we're paying for it from tax money charged off to us on a lawsuit that this, of course, I don't get past how bad I disagreed with what they did, but we got us caught for $199,000. And it's paying it out of the ad valorem taxpayers. And the people under 10 acres, the small landowners, houses don't pay the most of that. So we're going, if we go into this and it defaults and it gets stuck on ad valorem, city of Stigler's going to be broke.
If the county defaults on a loan, then the bank will come after the avenue of collecting the money through the 3/4 cent sales tax that was pledged to them. That's how it's gonna be collected.
It's already won't make that payment.
The 3/4 will. The half-cent won't. But the 3/4 that Paul agreed to put against it would make the payment in full.
Now, you won't have any jailers. Because
I'm just telling you, I'm just making
Yeah,
a
that's
statement.
true,
There's
yeah.
a lot of ifs and ands and whatever, but what I'm saying is that you're the one that pledged it. And if that's what the jail, that's what the bank will come after, is they will come after that tax payment to satisfy the debt on the bond payments. They can also take over the facility.
They can have it.
Well, another thing, Kerry Patton told me, we could set up a trust authority, and I'm not a lawyer, and I can't explain it like he did. But we can relieve the county of the jail through a trust authority. But we don't hold, you need to get with the bond attorney or Kerry Patton and explain that a little better, but, that's something we may have to look into doing.
Who is
I
your
will tell you this,
official
Clark.
legal advisor?
To answer your
Or we
question,
would.
you said that, it
Randy.
sounds like I already know that it'll be challenged. I had nothing to do with the Ten Commandments being challenged.
Randy, I asked Paul,
I was answering his question.
I understand. I thought I started prior to you, but anyway, I asked who the official legal advice for the county commissioners is. And Paul told me Farley Ward. Is that correct?
Well,
Is that correct?
yeah. But Farley
And
Farley is not a bond and tax attorney.
But he is an attorney, the district attorney for this district. And his research and his legal opinion from an attorney, that a bond attorney is just an attorney, he has an opinion,
In a specialized field.
but still, it's just an opinion.
I understand what
Farley
you're
has
saying.
researched the situation.
Has he?
Yes.
Have you asked him that?
I
Came
have.
here and
Mhm.
stated that.
If we
And
was gonna go off what Farley had to say about this, then why did we ever hire the bond attorneys to start with when we put the jail together?
I have no idea. I wasn't there. I don't think any of these gentlemen were there. But the legal authority to tell them what to do is the district attorney. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, it's like it.
I also
His
think Max
opinion
said-
is that this sales tax is legal. It's been done before, has precedence, all that sort of thing. I do not see how an opposition can develop to that when we need it. And I sat through the CPA explanation, the economics, the books, all the figures last Thursday, and it appeared to me that that was the only clear solution other than letting it go to court and getting dumped on that home tax. So, I'm in favor of sales tax.
That's everybody's right.
That's
to be
exactly
not
correct. That's exactly correct.
If I,
And very possible, I guess we need to get together and write a rebuttal to, if y'all need to publish a statement, which I would consider to be a political statement, then I feel like,
so
the other
yes, that's
side.
everybody's right.
okay,
That's everybody's right.
all right.
The only thing I'd add to that is when I really feel that I've known Farley for 35 years. I really felt like that Farley should have turned this over to proper bond and tax attorneys. And Farley told me, sitting right where you're at, that if he had had the time to do that before writing that ballot, he would have. But he only had that request in his hand for one day.
Are you talking about the original ballot?
The one that they're running right now.
Or is that?
Somebody behind you, that's it.
Oh. Well, I'm not sure about this ballot.
There's one thing we can all agree on. Time tells all. And there's a lot of people in this county own a lot more property than I do. And we'll see what happens.
Well, there's another thing that needs to be brought up here. We go back to our legal counsel. The original bond agreement to build the jail, I guess we used the same counsel. When they did the refinancing, we did use the same counsel, and then when we borrowed the junior loan, we used the same counsel, and everybody here has agreed it was all bad decisions, including all the commissioners. Is that true or not?
Yeah, but there's somebody behind you.
She gave us a legal.
Okay, but y'all all agree that that was all bad decisions. And you continue using the same counsel whenever we got y'all.
But it was just a little bit better in default. I'll still.
Well, it's because you waited to the last minute and you didn't have any other choice. We have got a plan together where we don't have to wait till the last minute and everybody's ignoring it.
I haven't seen it.
I'm not
We need
ignoring
to see the plan that's got about $300,000 more in it.
We're
before
just
to
talking
carry
about
back.
$70,000, and you always have a few $100,000 carryover every year.
Well, Gary Patton didn't agree. He said it'd
I
be
need
over
the paper
100.
I
Gary
got.
Patton sat right here and told us the only numbers he had to go off of is what y'all presented him. He didn't know if there's any place to trim or adjust anything.
That's true, but
That's true. So how does anybody make a decision when you don't know the real numbers? Other than just the total final numbers that was given to him he's just like any CPA. That's the way they work.
I'll fall back to the comment about precedent. We've been asking to see the precedents on those counties that have the additional for the, above the 2% sales tax rate. There's one county in Oklahoma, Love County, that passed a 0.5% under economic development to build a new facility. But I've still been able to find or have any attorney show me where any county in Oklahoma other than Love taxes above the 2% rate. It's on the OTC webpage as well, so you might want to check that out before you.
One's as good as 1,000.
Pardon?
One is as good as 1,000, in my opinion, or all 77 is.
Clark, what we're saying.
If it were for the same
question
thing.
About the tax and how much is needed and how much you need, there's no doubt that there's monies needed in the county. It's just that we want to make sure that they're gone about in a proper manner so that they're sustainable. As far as operating, we have been making it this long by coming up with the shortcomings. As you well know, you said yourself to me personally and in meetings that the junior loan was a bad thing that we did out of desperation.
Desperation, absolutely.
But you see, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build this tax, the deficiency of saving it in-house.
But that's the problem, it's just not in the house to get.
Well, I have to beg to differ with you. There's always a way you can tighten your belt.
Well, it's been tightened.
And I know that, but what I'm saying is that this year is absolutely no different than last year. In fact, it's a lot less money. And the payments and the interest are going to be a lesser amount than they were for 2014, 2015. So, and 16. So with that being said, all we have to do is try to save $5,000 and change every month to make these deferred, to accomplish this by accumulating the amount that it's going to be short each year based off of what our estimated income tax is going to be.
Well,
I don't disagree with you
But
that
I
we
mean-
don't need money spent. We've got inflation to deal with. We've got an aging facility here. We had one there that was being let go. It's been brought up to better standards, not perfect, but better. We're working on it daily. And we're just trying to solve a problem that's been dumped in everybody's lap. Look at it around this room. There's nobody here.
We've got an election board that the roof leaks on, we've got an office over here, the floor falling in on.
I agree with all
We've
that.
got.
and what we're gonna do in
we've got problems.
2024 and that big lump sum to
You
do.
should have thought of that before you signed off on it.
Quit, would
You should have thought about that in 2013 and saved the money for it, so you didn't have to make that bigger payment, borrow the money to do it. That's how you budget something.
but we were just doing that, in my opinion, whether it was a good decision or bad decision, you can always look back. We didn't wanna ask the people for a 0.5% sales tax, and in my opinion, went down every avenue we can possibly go down.
Well, I can
Not
promise you
to do
this,
it.
that right now you're paying over $2,000 a month in interest on that junior loan that would go towards saving this payment right now. And that's what I'm saying, Paul. We cannot afford to sit here on our duff and not do something to address this shortcoming on the debt next year. And that's exactly what we've done for the last 60 days. We did all of April and all of May, and here June's starting.
Well, like I say, we put the 0.25% in there, the jail's paid for, Randy.
Well, then, if that's your avenue, then you already made a statement you were gonna do that. If you're gonna do that,
I said we can do that, we're gonna shut the
that's your-
jail down,
That's your privilege.
because
You're the
we're
one
not
that
gonna be
made
able to pay
You're
the
the one
jailers.
that made the statement. Now, what I'm saying is that you can carry on business as you have in the past. But all you've got to do is you've got to address the shortcoming that you're gonna have April 1st, 2017. You asked me in the second meeting last week to spell it out for you. Well,
I understand
I'm
that,
spelling it
I
out.
got you, Randy, and if and when we do set the budget, put the 0.25% in there to pay for the jail, that's give or take, you agree with that, 18,000 a month? I mean,
I
the
haven't
jail's,
just-
the jail's
I've
paid
not
for
been,
it.
I've not been privy to that discussion. I don't know who you decided it with or who you discussed it with, but, so I can't really answer your question, that I agree with it or disagree with it, because I don't know the
About
knowledge
putting the
of it.
0.25% in,
Yeah, Nobody's ever talked to me about putting that quarter in. You said you agreed to put the 3/4 in.
That's what I meant, but the half's there, then put the quarter in.
But see, you've already been operating by just putting half in, is that not correct?
We've been operating the jail, but we haven't been able to make a payment.
Have you been operating off that half-cent going to the debt for the past year?
Been spending a lot of stuff out in the M&O to go out there.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all, Marvin. I'm just asking you if that half-cent almost makes the payment. If we save, now it's gonna be $600 a month from here on out, you'll be able to make that payment. You won't be in a crisis mode.
And that's what I'm saying, you keep bringing up saving that money. I'm saying, when we put the other 1/4% in there for the budget, you will have a 12 months of the 1/4%, which is gonna make the payment on the jail. That's what I'm kinda,
Well, Paul, you're saying that, but you haven't done it.
because we haven't set the budget yet.
Well, according, well, like I said, I don't have enough knowledge of this.
I asked last